Hey, it's Dr. Deer with 5 reasons not to let anyone rush your grief. You know, a lot of people, when they hear the topic of grief and loss and death, it scares them and they don't want to talk about it. I get it. But when you have to grieve, if you don't grieve effectively, it can cause other problems within your life. And that leads me to number one. Your life was significantly impacted by the person who passed away. You now have this big hole in your heart, this big void in your life, and you have to process that. And that leads me to number two, is that you have personal things that you feel, when you think of that person dying, and that you need to process. Like there's something that doesn't seem right if you don't grieve and you don't process. I don't know if you get it, if you've ever lost someone, you know what I mean. And that leads me to number three. So there's so many losses attached to the death of that person. You may be losing the routine that you had with them. If they were your husband or wife or significant other, you're losing that. You're using your role in life as that person, your social role with that person. And that leads me to number four. When you're alone, you have to face the loss by yourself. So why would you be concerned about what other people think about you taking too long to grieve? Please don't let anybody push you when you're not ready. And that leads me to number five. A lot of times people don't want to face their own grief and loss that they have going on. So they avoid, so they want you to avoid. Don't ever let anyone rush you through this process. It's hard. You gotta think, you've known that person a long time, so they impacted your life significantly. And there's a lot of things that once they're gone, you're deprived of. That's what bereavement is. It's like you're grieving that you can't no longer see that person, touch that person, talk to that person, and that's hard. If you're struggling with grief and loss, or somebody's pressuring you to move forward, please seek a therapist so they can help you maneuver through your grief and how to have those conversations.